Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
And we're doing it. Oh, hi, kids. It's Martyr.
It's C.Tepper.
And this is
Wigging
out. Oh, Caitlin's audio broke at least.
Ah, God damn it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
no, you're
thank
fine.
God.
It just, like, broke out for a second.
Okay.
It happens. We're trying to be delicate to our listeners' ears so we don't spin their. It happens.
They deserve it.
Yeah. What a lovely summer night we're having at the moment. And we
90
have
degrees.
90 degrees. Brooklyn summer night for me. And we have some lovely guests. Caitlin, we should get right into it because they literally have a gig right after
In
this.
like an hour.
So, who are we talking to? Who are we doing?
We got the Dragon Sisters. I'm going to have you both introduce yourselves so we can recognize your voices.
Hi, we are the Dragon Sisters.
Yes.
This is Issa.
And my name's Odessa, and we're the Dragon Sisters.
Yay.
Love.
The
love.
busiest
Intro, you like that?
Yeah, I love it. The busiest
great.
people in all of Brooklyn / Manhattan / currently Jersey City.
Is that
Honestly.
what you like?
I think you are. You're
Y'all are
everywhere.
hustling. We love it.
Y'all are everywhere.
That's what happens when you get two managers.
Oh,
Two
That's true.
managers.
She's my manager and I'm her manager, so
Love.
ooh.
We're just trying to spread it wide.
spread it wide.
Yeah,
Lay it thick.
the city needs it.
I think so too.
So, how was your pandemic?
It was just as shocking as everyone else's pandemic was, but also very fruitful because we had a lot of time to spend together in the lab and not distracted by our 9-to-5s, which we currently do not have, and they can see us next lifetime.
It really gave us the opportunity to like focus solely on this.
Yeah.
Solely on the Dragon Sisters. Without feeling guilty or not making rent,
And we don't mean to say that we prayed for the pandemic, but we did pray for this kind of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time praying together. It's not an exaggeration. Lighting candles for this very year that we would be able to focus very concentrated, on ourselves and in our craft.
And y'all are killing it.
You really are.
Literally everywhere. You're like the biggest names that I feel like have come out of the Brooklyn scene in a hot minute. Like I've been hearing about y'all for a really long time, and it was great to finally see you perform.
And that's a high compliment because you know the girls.
I do.
Y'all know what's going on out here.
Yeah.
It's true. So where are you both from originally?
I'm originally from Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Issa's from the Bronx.
Oh.
But we met in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But we're in Brooklyn.
We're based in Brooklyn, yeah.
That's so crazy. How is it like growing up where you came from?
I definitely always had that feeling like this is never going to be enough, and I definitely got to get out of here. And as a child, I really didn't have a lot of goals. I didn't have a lot of dreams. I was dealing with a lot of things. I had vision problems. My hearing was terrible.
Oh, wow.
Diagnosed with ADHD. So it was, there wasn't really, I had a lot of things against me, and there wasn't anything that was like really driving me to do anything or be better. And then I snuck to a dance audition for my high school dance department. And even though my GPA was way too low, they let me in. And a year later, my GPA shot up. And then I ran the fuck out of there, went to boarding school for dance.
Something about the arts will really get your grades up.
Yeah, it really will. I mean,
just focus, concentration.
Not an exaggeration. It really did change my life. And because I was able, I found discipline in that craft in that age, I took it very seriously. So then I went to boarding school, finally got into a really good college for dance. And then on the first day of school, I met Issa.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
In the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. You was it University of North Carolina?
Yes.
That's what it's called. Okay, gotcha.
And then, of course, I got kicked out because I have a mouth.
Ooh.
How'd you get kicked out of college?
Oh, we need to hear, babe.
Well, it wasn't kicked out. The thing about this school is that you have to get asked back. So it wasn't that she got kicked out, it was more so that she didn't get asked back.
Gotcha,
They told me that I
gotcha.
had little professional promise.
Laugh.
We love a girl.
Laugh.
We love a girl that
What?
speaks her mind.
Yeah.
That's so funny. When
That's
y'all
what
met,
it really was.
yeah. When
You
y'all met,
always stood up for yourself.
And they were like, Issa, don't hang out with Kane because she's a bad influence. And we're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here, girl.
y'all just did like Bonnie and Clyde, just ran.
So, yeah.
When
And
you
we
met,
went to a better school, SUNY
Oh.
Purchase.
Yes.
ah,
And it was, it was, the training was everything that we needed.
Mhm.
The environment, the community, the network was everything that we needed. It was close to New York. So we were, able to access that, the magic of the city and
Yep.
the opportunity that was in the city. So everything happens for a reason,
there's a huge amount of Brooklyn Queens who are from SUNY Purchase, like who all went there.
Yes. So there's
Miss
Fifi,
Jade went to
there's Miss
Purchase.
Jade, there's Fifi Dubois, who's the first person we saw in drag.
A lot of
There's
McGriddles.
There's a lot
Yep.
of McGriddle. Miss Jade was actually the first person to put me in drag.
Spinderella went to Purchase.
Spinderella went to Purchase. Not that she's a drag queen, but she is on the scene. Jason Rodriguez from Pose, she also went there. All the girls.
Everybody.
All the girls. I'm gonna keep my thumbs off so I can put my corset on.
So how did you get into drag? Because you obviously guys have a dance background. So how did that like translate over?
Yeah, we had both been in these positions where we were dancing for our dream companies, doing our dream jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Dream jobs.
Yeah.
After studying together, building up for this thing, just so focused on like being a dancer in a company, doing this thing. And once we got there, the fantasy
Dulled out.
The fantasy did not live up to the reality. And like any job, there's going to be things that could be better that, that once you get into the thick of it, it's not everything, the glitz and the glamour and the traveling. The traveling was amazing, but we got to a point where we were like, there's something more. There's more that we can give. There are cumulative skills that we have that could feed, our personal vision and not just, us working through someone else's vision.
And because we were working in the arts and, everyone has to find ways to supplement their income, we started working with a designer named Daryl Thorne, who is a really big nightlife queen.
Yes.
Very popular.
Do you remember Evie Oddly's finale look?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He did that headpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Daryl was actually the first person to put us in drag together and tell us that the two of us had something special together. While all of our friend groups, saw it and felt it, and all of our family felt it and saw it because we've been best friends since we met.
Throughout our school, people would cast us together, like there's something there.
Yes, but before that, it was happening less than it was happening more, where people were noticing us as a thing together. So he was getting booked for a lot of corporate events, a lot of Brandon Boss Entertainment, a lot of things at the Sony Hall, a lot of Daybreakers, a lot of big parties in New York City. And he was always hiring us and dressing us alike. So usually there was a big cast or a small cast, but always we were like the two pillars. So then we, really kind of fell in love with the idea of being nightlife queens because, it was like all of a sudden we were that, except we weren't doing our faces, we weren't playing our looks, we weren't booking our own gigs. And then we started working with a singer named Ariana the Rose, where Issa was in her show first as a character called Aurora, which was, very intergalactic, space jammy show. It's really fun. I hope if you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm sure it's coming back in the fall. It's called Light in Space, exploring all the music of Ariana the Rose. And Issa one day couldn't do the show, so then I started doing the show. So then I was her understudy, and then we started splitting this role of this solo thing. And then all of a sudden we got the opportunity to do it at the same time. And then we went to LA. We met a guy named Spencer Ludwig. Spencer Ludwig was like, we would love you to have the two of you come perform at our parties. And we said, well, what would you like us to do? And he said anything. So we said, well, what a perfect time to create an act. What a perfect time to put a name on it. Issa had already been doing drag as a solo performer, and I was playing the role of security and best friend. And we just thought it was the time and the perfect moment to launch off the Dragon Sisters.
So it was really an accumulation of experiences that led to it, but now we're making music. Now it's this big monster that we can't control.
How'd you come up with the name the Dragon Sisters?
I used to call Issa my little dragon.
Aww.
We started doing together, so then we became the Dragon Sisters.
I love it, especially because it has the word dragon in it.
This is so,
It just felt appropriate too. I think it was just like, it made sense. It feels majestic, it feels ethereal, it feels powerful,
it feels feminine, it feels
graceful.
It's something that's like is shared through all cultures and all corners of the world. Like every part of the world has a tale of a dragon. And we just felt that it really fit us.
It's universal.
It always makes me think of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones was really, really hot when we first started. Everybody thought it was based off of that, or that it was.
No.
You know, Daenerys, and we didn't even watch the show, so we would be stumped when people would ask questions. We were like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I mean, your performances are iconic and legendary, just like a dragon. So I'm here for it. The name works.
Yeah.
So you've said that you're equal parts hip hop, pop, and classical art. What inspires your art?
Mostly our training, our combined training. You know, we've been dancing and training and performing together since 2009. So there's a lot of things that we have shared and rubbed off on each other. And as well as just living in this fantastic city of New York City. Like, me and Issa are big fans of the theater. We're big fans of the museum. We're big fans of going outside. We love to camp. We love to support all of our friends who are visual artists, musicians. So we see a lot of shows. We see a lot of theater.
Where we come from and who came before us is a huge inspiration and influence for us. Yeah. As well as, you know, with looking back, you also have to look forward. So the children, teenagers, our teenage little sister is a huge inspiration, I would say. It's like, you know, what's the future? What's to come?
We're also teachers, so we're constantly teaching younger students and older students and peers. So like bouncing off dialogue and interest in ideas and theories and all kinds of things.
What do you teach?
Oh my God, so many things. Mostly contemporary forms. We also teach heels class.
Heels class coming soon at Give Me in September. Yeah, look out for that.
Martyr needs that.
I do.
We teach contemporary, we teach modern, we teach ballet, we teach jazz, we teach heels, we teach aerobics, we teach anything that fits in between any of those things. You know, as dance, things sometimes mesh. And,
I want to take a class. Damn.
Coming in the fall, really a consistent teaching schedule is coming.
Yes, I'm gonna show up.
Open for all levels, okay?
Yeah. I took my first dance class this past Tuesday, and I'm still sore. So
what?
I'm scared.
What class was it?
It was Laomi's Vogue class. She kicked my ass.
You went in for the big dogs. You like first class.
I know,
right? I've been wanting to learn voguing for a while now, and then she offered it, so I was just like, I have to take it. So, and then Caitlin's done it before.
I haven't done voguing. I have a background in dance too. But
oh, nice.
When I was young.
Check out Luz, L-U-Z. That's the name of
L-U-Z.
She's at Gibney, on Tuesdays as well. But she's actually Laomi's daughter.
Oh, love that. Yeah.
We need all the classes.
Yeah, we really do.
So my last question for this section is, what were your early performances like? Were you always so in sync?
Early performances?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
when
I
you
would
you
say-
joined
I
forces.
wouldn't say by the time we started the Dragon Sisters, we had been already building and working together for years. So I would say that, yeah, when the Dragon Sisters began with a name, it was like we were in sync. We had the same vision. We were on the same page.
We were ready.
We were ready. You know, we waited till we had everything in the bag and all the tools in the basket to, present it how we imagined it. So yes, I would say we were in sync from the beginning of the Dragon Sisters for sure. It's definitely gotten better. It's definitely been refined. For sure.
Before we wrap up, I just want to ask, do you have a favorite dance style? Or do you like everything?
I like everything.
I like doing what I want.
Her favorite dance style is on the dance floor.
Is what I want.
See,
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
Yeah.
I would say, to give you a real answer for that, one of my favorite styles of dance is like the Martha Graham technique, and I feel like it's taught me and Issa a lot about the power of the body and the power of the world around you. And it's something that we trained intensely together, side by side, and so it really does like feel like it lives inside of our body and and inside of our friendship as well.
Ah,
I love that. Yeah, power of dance, girls. I love it.
Okay.
What?
Hey,
They literally just gave a beautiful answer, Caitlin. I liked it.
You
I'm sorry,
ruined it, Martyr.
Oh, whatever. Fuck you. Anyways, before I embarrass myself more in front of these stunning queens, let's take a little break. And we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the summer bushwig that you guys did last year and are still doing. And talk about some more projects that are upcoming. So we'll be right back, kids. Bye.
Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
And we're back.
We're back.
Just putting on some lip gloss.
Yes.
I love this,
Chapstick
like,
and mascara.
I know. They're like, our viewers obviously can't see, but they're just getting ready in front of us. And it's kind of fun to watch.
They're so beautiful.
And me and Caitlin are looking like scrubs on our bed.
Horrible.
Scrubs.
We're so sweaty.
Love from me, and we love y'all.
Oh, you're so sweet. Let me get into the next question.
Also known as a bus.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about your dancing style. What would you say inspires your song choices? Because I know you guys do a lot of rap and hip hop performances.
Our present, past, and future. I mean,
Hip hop is in our bones.
Hip hop is in our bones, and it's also like when we decided that we wanted to, not only write music, which we've been doing for a while, but give it to the world. We wanted to make sure that it was stamped with like some really serious parts of us. And that being said, like where we came from, how do we start off, the people that helped us get here, and mostly where do we see ourselves? How do we place ourselves into our chosen futures? And we say chosen futures because we do believe we all have the capability of pulling ourselves out of our situations, as treacherous as they might be sometimes. We do have the power to change our narrative and change our stories and be the directors of our own lives. It's been some storytelling. Everything we say isn't true, but we are hoping that one day it will be.
That's
hip hop.
Yes, because hip hop is so prophetic in that way that we're always speaking of the better self. We're always talking about who we want to be, what we aspire to look like, what we aspire to offer.
Always remembering where we came from. I'm from the Bronx, it's the birthplace of hip hop. There's nothing realer to me, especially just like the thought of reclaiming it Because it always also, even though it is where I come from and it is my home and it is in my heart, it always felt like a space too that I was excluded from hip hop. So yeah, that's another reason for our song choices, and that it's like, no, this is ours too.
I could definitely see it.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about your EP, The Fine Print?
It's dead ass.
It's so good. I was listening to it on Spotify. It's such a vibe. It's all a mood.
Thank you.
The EP, it has been something that we always wanted to do, but didn't realize what it took to get there until
we were in someone's mom's basement recording it.
It sounds so good for someone's basement.
I'm like, oh, so I can't stand up here. Okay, no,
I'm gonna record.
No, I'm good.
Very rhythm and flow.
We're like the box is like falling over. We're like, whoa!
Oh my god.
It was very hustle and flow.
Oh, hustle and flow. Rhythm and flow too.
Is a t-shirt.
I hope that's come back. Should we listen for Rhythm and Flow with Cardi B in there? No, but yeah, the fine print is kind of very much, it's just very much IMO, telling our story through our own lens. Because who's gonna tell our story better than us? You know, recognizing where we come from, recognizing our ancestors, and you know, speaking that word, using that tongue to place ourselves where we see ourselves in the future.
Yes, and also, you know, because we are, you know, we are people, we're performers, collaborators, artists who, in most of our brainstorming, visioning, what we see ourselves, it's on stage, you know. So we were wanting to create a soundtrack that would kind of support and be the beginning of a show that fully belonged to us and was fully coming from our voices and our hearts. And, you know, of course, we had to start with the sound, you know, to make a show that felt like it was for us and by us.
Yeah, we definitely created it imagining the performance.
It sounds so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Speaking of performance, you performed, I feel like, in all the boroughs of New York at this point. What are some of your favorite venues or performances that you've done?
It's a fantastic thing to be on your own bill, curating your own evening, you know, deciding who's around you. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. That comes with a lot of privilege. You know, it's a responsibility. It comes with a lot, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. So it's always a wonderful to be producing our own shows because we are curators in many different facets. But it's also another kind of key to, you know, pop into somebody's gig and give it the 1-2, and then, you know, meet some new people who you probably wouldn't have met in your own crowd. Right now, I'm really, really into industry. We just performed there.
Y'all were so good. You freaking turned it. Like, they weren't ready for you. They were not ready. But I was ready. I was ready, but they weren't.
That was our first time performing in Manhattan at a club as the Dragon Sisters. So that was really awesome. And we'll also be hosting our own show there.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
So, come through. Yeah, we'll be releasing the dates for that. But, you know, $3 bills has felt like a home to us. It is a venue that we love. The staff is amazing. It's very close to our home. It has the technical capabilities that anybody would ever need to put on any kind of magic on a stage.
Yeah, and we fit on that stage. It's huge, you know. The space, you know, really suits us because we're giants. Yeah. But
which is not the
one of my favorite spaces, in Brooklyn is not as large. But come on, everybody. The family, the staff is so welcoming, has been so great to us. They've taken care of us so well.
Yeah, shout out to Eric,
that we've been there. Shout out to Eric. But come on, everybody is equally, you know, a drag space as it is a music space. They, you know, support their artists, and that I appreciate about Come On Everybody. It's like they have that balance for the community. And there's something for everybody there. I feel like they also have so many different types of shows in that space.
Yeah, and we also, you know, just throw some names out. We love the Salsa Room. We love Sony Hall. We perform a couple of times at World Trade, which I love. The World Trade Center, which I'm like, that view is just so sick. Natural History Museum, I love that space.
Just everywhere.
Y'all
I love
are
it.
literally everywhere.
I also love Lincoln Center. If there's plans,
I mean, that makes sense though.
I haven't been on that stage, but she has.
Ooh.
That's incredible. That you have to
Yeah.
be the best of the best to get up there. So
Yeah. So congrats.
My first time on that stage was actually catering a Dolce & Gabbana party. And I was like, oh, bitch, I gotta get here.
Yeah.
Next year, I auditioned and got in.
Yes, as you deserve.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So, I feel like y'all are one of the queens of Bushwig, and I feel like you're one of the big Bushwig breakout stars. What was that like?
We love Knockdown Center. It was epic to
Yeah.
perform there. The first time we performed at Bushwick. Then epic again, just the community, the amount of people that come out to Bushwick, it's just like overwhelming.
Yeah.
Just to see such the sea and the crowd, the community of Brooklyn coming together, and it's just like such a festive time. Not just the day of Bushwick, but like that whole weekend and that moment, even at bars that are not related to Bushwick. It's just such an experience that I love. I love to see people out. It's like a second pride, you know.
And for me, Bushwick is so iconic and so legendary. It's kind of scary sometimes for people to say, "Oh, you guys are like staples there. You guys are like two of the Bushwick queens," and it's like, we just want to tread lightly as far as like how we are entering the community, because it has been a community that's been around for way longer than we have, and we just always wanted to let people know that we are like just so honored, grateful to be a part of it, because it is truly the biggest stage for drag for queer performers ever, and for us to be included is just a dream.
Awesome.
We love some humble queens. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm gonna use one of your quotes that I really liked. You said that we like to show skin. We're artists who do drag, but we don't tuck or pad. It's very much our bodies. And you talk about accentuating your natural frame, because for so long it felt awkward about how thin and tall we are. What can you tell us? How did you find some body acceptance?
Yeah, the realness.
Well, being so similar, finding our confidence in each other, and like, always being each other's biggest cheerleader has helped in so many ways. Like, I feel like our biggest superpower is that we have each other, because we've been able to pull each other out of crazy, crazy, crazy dark places, and also like have individually helped each other get to such a beautiful place in our lives through the power of our friendship and our sisterhood. So just being each other's biggest cheerleader and always there for each other has just really helped us build confidence in a way that, when I met Issa, she definitely didn't have. And when she met me, I definitely didn't have. I mean, we were wearing our insecurities very differently. I was like very loud and flamboyant, as I am still, but I was like kind of like masking that. And Issa was living her life as a straight man in all Black who didn't speak at all. And somehow in there we kind of like
emo kid
007, and really
definitely
nurtured each other.
Definitely that. I think when it comes to like body image, we all have our things, and even people who you wouldn't expect, and I think that's important to represent ourselves. I think it's important to represent ourselves confidently and naturally, and when it comes to drag and our drag style, there's this exaggeration of those things that are already there.
Yeah, you both look so beautiful on stage. I can't even imagine having body issues, because You look like supermodels. If only I could be tall and skinny like that.
We came from, I mean, yes, we are tall and we are thin and we try to eat as best as we can and we work out and blah, blah, blah. And we're very active. But, in the dance world, there aren't really a lot of tall people. There aren't a lot of tall thin, and then you put femme on top of that.
Yeah, I know.
It's really, and when we were in school, most of the, presenting as male people in our classes were a foot shorter than us.
Wow.
And, as a guy, wanting to be able to move fast and be athletic and be able to hit the floor really fast and get in the air really fast, like, it's really just something that makes it a lot more difficult when you're 6'4", you know what I mean? And because everyone around you is 5'6" or 5 to 5'11", now you're not getting cast for pieces because now you still got like a sore thumb. And with who you partner are the tall women, and then that's a whole nother other thing. So yeah, and I would say that I was bullied in my first job because of how thin I was, because everyone was so, built like a brick house and huge arms and huge legs, and were able to do, superhuman strength kind of thing. So like, I didn't necessarily feel like I belonged.
Yeah, the dance world is just so crazy with body image. It's just like out of control.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was powerful.
Thank you.
Of course, anytime. No, I think we drag performers in general always have that kind of stigma, and where am I going with this? But like,
just the beauty standard, it exists.
Yeah.
But when you're presenting, you're creating an image. You overanalyze it. You think about it so much more because you have to be intentional with what you're giving off. So yeah, you want to. Yeah, you think about it a lot. So we do think about it a lot. We do think about it intentionally, but we also present and want to create that balance of like, it's not just, tall, skinny, like we try to include the parts of ourselves that are not, accentuate the parts of ourselves that are not necessarily, like desired attributes or expected, beauty standards.
Yeah. For our last question for this little segment, what from like the dance world and music world have you used in and transferred over to your drag performances?
Our training,
definitely that Graham technique.
That Graham technique, she'll have you real high up on these 4-inch heels.
Yes, definitely the ballet technique in dance.
And just like the perspective, that the perspective of like, not what art is, because that is subjective, but to have taste that has been affected by years of experience, you know what I mean? And not necessarily like, being that 16-year-old who had, speaking to myself, who before I did dance knew nothing about what theater was, knew nothing about the pioneers of modern dance or fashion or architect or stage design or drag performance, and just having knowledge. I feel like it just informs, it's power, and it informs you in so many ways. And you can feel that that's something that everyone doesn't have the privilege of having, an education in fine arts. Not that it makes us any better, but it does, give us a little more information.
Something that we strive for and take from all art forms that we've dabbled in. One thing that I would say that we really take as influence from all of the art forms and genres that we've dabbled in is just creating a moment and changing the energy of that moment, using the tension of a room and affecting it, meeting people where they're at and taking them somewhere else.
Yeah.
which is useful in all art forms. And music really has the power to do that, I think, because anyway, I mean, you can access it anywhere around the world. You can listen to it and not have to look at it. You don't have to come to a performance. I think that all is like channeled into our music right now, is that feeling of like creating a vibration and sharing it.
And that whole like 360 full view 24/7 idea of like what immersive theater is and what
energy
and what immersive performance is, and like what does it feel like to go. Issa was, before the pandemic, was in that show Sleep No More. And we've also produced some small scale immersive theater work ourselves. And how does that relate to drag? How does creating an experience, as soon as someone comes into your venue, as soon as anyone comes into your
blur the fantasy and the reality.
What is the experience they walk into and walk away with? Is really important to us. And, you know, being Brooklyn Queens, the only experience we ever want anyone to ever feel is love, kindness, shared confidence, positivity, community, good motherfucking vibes, okay?
You deserve it. If you came out of your house and you came to the show, you deserve to have a good time.
Yes, we are not those shady queens. We are not we are not comedians who get on the mic and talk trash about the people who paid to come see you. That is not our spiel. That is not our spiel. That is not what we do. And please don't bring that to our venue. Most of all, the girls have trauma, okay? The girls have trauma and we don't deal well with shade. So.
We deal with shade differently. Neither way is well.
And on that note, I think we should take our last little break. And we'll be right back with our usual shitty question.
Bye.
We'll be right back.
Let's get shady on that note.
Oh, we will.
Let's get shady. Woo. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Bye.
Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
And we're back. I always say this is Caitlin's question, but I'm gonna reward it a little bit.
You could, I mean, however.
Yeah. So a lot of people start drag nowadays, kind of start drag to get on a television show. I don't see that for y'all. That not in a shady way, but like in a sense
what do they want to do it?
I'm not saying. I
can see it.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see you on TV. I'm just saying the way you've been speaking about like how you perform and what you bring to other people. It feels like if you get on TV, great. But I feel like you guys don't need TV. Does that make sense to you? Was I just being a bitch? I might have just been a bitch.
No.
But would you do it? Would you do any of the shows?
Well,
not just the main one.
That, we are definitely looking to be on TV.
Absolutely.
Okay, go on, bitch.
We definitely will be on TV.
Yeah.
We will be on TV for the reason of Miss RuPaul's Drag Race TV show. But before 3 weeks ago, it was a hard no. It was a hard no because 1, 2, 3, X, Y, and Z, right? But me and Issa have been stepping so deep into our divine purposes and have, you know, at this point we have taken hands off the wheel and we're letting our ancestors guide us.
And who knows?
And we've also noticed that everything that we've ever thought was not for us has been very much for us, you know? So we are now deciding that not only will we be auditioning for this season, but that we're taking the expectation from ourselves that is not for us. We've flushed that into our life.
I love that.
And I do TV, and you know, like for a long time, ABC and 1, 2, 3 were reasons why we didn't.
But like this is not adding up to that. It doesn't seem like this is adding up to that. Same thing you just said.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, like we were also in a place where we were like, you know, all of our choices are always made because of the knowledge we have, insecurities, fears, and where our confidence lies. And I feel like we were making a lot of decisions in our younger years through fear, through insecurities, through doubt in our own selves. And what does that feel like to make moves when you don't have that in place? What does it feel like to design your future when you're not navigating and jumping over your insecurities?
No, I hear you. No, I think your message and a lot of you've talked about already would be great for more people to hear. So I would love to see you on TV.
Go on TV.
We both want you on TV.
Tell them that.
So do you have any future projects coming up? So this episode is coming out in August, but anything that you're working on that you could share?
Yes, we are doing a bi-weekly residency here in Jersey City at 626. So we do a Friday night and a Saturday brunch. We're also at Come On Everybody at every second Friday at Come On Everybody in Brooklyn. We will be participating in the Jack residency on Governor's Island in the first week of August. So please send your love. We will be performing at Playhouse maybe 4 times this month. As well as a few times next month. We'll be premiering our first show at Industry on the 3rd of August. Our birthday, our shared birthday, which is actually my actual birthday, Issa's drag birthday, August 31st, is coming up, and we'll be in Pittsburgh performing with TQ Live and teaching a lecture at Carnegie Mellon University. We also just premiered 2 films last month that did their premiere, and now hopefully we're starting to send it out for submissions to some film festivals. We have some new music coming out.
Love.
Booked it blessed. Booked it
blessed. Y'all are just busy.
Oh, and if this is coming out in August,
and Bushwick is coming around the corner.
Yeah, and this is coming out in August. This won't be a spoiler if we tell you now, and we'll tell you in confidence that we will be performing on the 29th of this month for Summer Stage with Calvin Klein with our band in Central Park.
Yes. What a great stage. Amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Y'all are really killing it. We love to hear it. I know, like a resume right there, bitch. And it's for like, what, the next 2 months?
Yeah, literally just like the next month is like 5 million gigs.
You sound so busy. I don't envy your schedule, but I go off it.
People say all the time, I'm happy with your schedule.
Listen, it's a full-time gig, so it sounds amazing. So congrats to both of you.
I'm not complaining. This is what I asked for.
This is what we asked
exactly.
for.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
We burned a lot of candles for this moment.
So what's the best advice you've been given about drag?
The best advice we've been given?
Yeah, or that you have to share with people, whatever. Any advice?
Come with your own tips. Always come with your own cash, so that when people come to your venue and they got that big old 20 they don't want to give, you already got change.
That's a good one.
That's a new one. That is a good one.
Yes. Bring your own change. Don't expect the bar to do it.
My biggest tip or a piece of advice that I got from doing drag was to be a self-sufficient queen.
Yes.
And that sounds funny coming from us because we're always together. We always have each other. But we do appreciate being independent. We appreciate, having everything that we need with us, not having to ask for anything and just being ready.
Always be early. Will Smith said, you have to be early enough to watch everybody walk in. And I take that with me every day.
And know when it's time to leave. You don't have to stay up all night drinking and kikiing after the gig.
That's a good point.
Sometimes you gotta just...
That's my favorite part, though. Listen, Mama has work in the morning, but I'll still be staying out until 9:30. Not 9:30, 3:30.
I'm like
9:30.
9:30. Oh, kill me now.
It's your moment.
Should we do this question?
We'll do it.
Okay.
If they don't have an answer, that's fine. We'll just keep
Okay,
going.
because we usually prep our guests for this question, but since we ran a little late because of me, we weren't able to. But we usually ask for like a crazy story that either you've experienced or you've heard about, or something that like just left an impression in your mind of like, wow, I need to tell someone this.
While in drag or in nightlife, the craziest
Yeah.
thing you've ever seen or participated in.
Yeah.
The craziest thing, I'm going to answer both of us. The craziest thing I've ever seen or heard in my entire life is somebody trying to book the Dragon Sisters as one person.
I know who you're talking about.
The shadiest thing is
That's T.
somebody trying to pay us as one person.
No.
And we always run like, was it you that was showing up for free?
Or was it you that was showing up?
Because I wasn't showing up for free.
What? How dare they? How dare they?
And you're saying you know who it is, but you'd be surprised how many people do that.
Oh shit.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people do the right thing and don't run their mouth about the dumb shit they do. Like our friend.
Apparently I just got messaged who it is.
I'm not gonna say because I love her.
Silly enough running around here telling everybody, oh yeah, I got in trouble because I tried to pay the Dragon Sisters one person. Duh, bro.
That's terrible.
I was in the room when that phone call happened. I was just saying.
God.
I'm like,
I love her dearly, but I was like, girl, it's not gonna happen.
No.
Come on. Oh my goodness. Not this.
No.
Not
No,
this.
y'all are two separate performers. And
yeah,
we need to understand that.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate being considered that way as two different performers. We do come together as an act. But that's 2 wigs, that's 2 pairs of shoes, they're not cheap. That's 2 sets of nails.
That's
every single time, and we come ready.
Those are mandatory rehearsals because we can't show up to the venue and
just do something.
Because then it looks like I'm just up there doing something.
So we rehearse.
We rehearse first of all.
Yeah.
It's not worth one person. It's not worth half the
And
fee.
also, like, I feel like because we are, queens who have a different kind of background, blah, 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 we have to stand up for our other queens. Like, we have to make sure that you don't try to pay no other sister act as one person because that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not today.
No, I definitely talked to her about it. She has no ill will. And she loves you both. But I will not be saying her name on the podcast.
Yeah. Luckily for myself and my own sanity, I'm as psychic as they possibly get. So I know everything that's ever always said.
Damn.
Without anything ever having to be told to me. Anything anybody ever says about the Dragon Sisters, anytime that word, the Dragon Sisters is said, we get a fucking fortune cookie that tells us.
I was gonna say she gets a little radar.
Watching.
Yes, ooh, they're watching. Love. Caitlin, do you want to wrap up?
All right, our last question is, where do you want to take your drag in the future?
To the sky, to the moon.
I'm saying Switzerland.
Hey, they got money.
They got money over there, honey.
Definitely
to the moon. Definitely to the moon. Definitely to MTV. Definitely to the MTV Awards. Definitely to the BET Awards. Definitely to the Soul Train Awards. Definitely to the Grammys. Definitely to the Oscars. Definitely to all the big names, big stages.
I totally see it happening.
Yeah. Give it like 2 years.
No,
even
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
They already got the EP out.
I know, right? Y'all are on your way. I love to hear it. Thank you so much for coming on our little show. It means the world.
We are
Are you all coming to the Odyssey tomorrow?
I keep seeing all that.
If y'all want to come, let us know. We'll put you on the list.
Oh, maybe I will.
Maybe. Oh, I'm suddenly free.
I know, right? I'm like, I want to go.
5,000 pods.
Yeah.
5,000 pods. We love to hear. We love to see. Where can the kids find you on social media?
You can find me and my sister on any.
My sister and I had an act that couldn't flop.
Yes.
You can find us on Instagram
at The Dragon Sisters. You can find us on Twitter at The Dragon Sisters. You can really find us on all social media platforms under The Dragon Sisters, as well as all musical streaming platforms as The Dragon Sisters.
Including
And
Spotify.
And also all cash sharing applications as well as The Dragon Sisters.
Pay them for their talents, kids.
There's
They-
more than
they
one
deserve it.
person in this act.
Yeah, they
And
deserve.
we want to be on your Spotify playlist.
Yes.
Tivana.
I was like, this is good music to work out to.
I think we're on 97 playlists right now, which I'm like, that's a kind of ass fucking number.
Yes. You deserve it.
No, I didn't know.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for
It was
having us.
a pleasure. I hope tonight's show goes well,
Yeah.
and tomorrow's show, and every other show that you
And
have for
all
next
the
couple
gigs
months.
every single day, twice a day probably, that you have in your future.
Thank
We
y'all
love to see you succeed, so we love it.
so much. We really
Of
appreciate you
course.
taking the time out and getting to know us a little more.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. I was Martyr,
I was C.Tepper.
and this was.
Wigging out.
Oh, I like that. I like that one. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm C.Tepper. You can follow me on Instagram at C.Tepper and read my book, The State of Drag, where I interviewed 175 drag queens from around the world. All proceeds go to charity on Amazon.com.
Ooh, I love that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Drag the Martyr. And if you have any thoughts, comments, dick pics, send them to dragthemartyr@gmail.com.
Listen, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Pandora.
And catch up with past episodes on WERRRK.com. That's WERRRK.com. Artwork for Wigging Out was provided by Glitter Baby Online. That's Glitter Baby Online. Thank you.